Yes, and now the problem is twofold for a lot of these school districts around the state. Not only do they have to plan for the eventual return to school and how to keep proper distancing, they also have to figure out how to optimize distance learning right now. I'm really happy to have Hartford Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Leslie Torres-Rodriguez, on the phone joining us in. And Doctor, thank you so much for taking the time. My understanding is that once you found out that the governor finally said, okay, we're going to call it quits for physical learning for this academic year, there was some level of relief for you. Is that true?
I think there's just an opportunity for us to say, okay, now we can truly devote all focus on, one, maintaining the work as distance learning, and then trying to think through all of the unknowns as it relates to summer and then next fall.
So it's good that, okay, we can focus on what's just ahead of us right now. That is the distance learning, how to optimize it. I was asking Waterbury's Mayor Neil O'Leary the same question before. With cities, there's always the worry about access to the materials that are needed. Laptops, Wi-Fi, things to optimize distance learning. Where does Hartford stand with that?
Yeah, we've really, been aggressive in trying to get as many families connected. And so we distributed all of our inventory. And then, additionally, we purchased about 3,500 Chromebooks. And so right now we know that 93% of our students have access to a device, whether that is the almost, 11,000 that we have given our families, or one device that they owned. And so the challenge now is ensuring that all of the families stay connected to, having access, to the internet, which I know is a challenge for many of our families. And we also, Tim, have families that have opted to not use distance learning. They want to go technology free as well. Those are 500 students that we have to, on a weekly and biweekly basis, mail out packets, if you will, of supplies and materials.
What about ESL students, English as a second language?
Yes, we're trying to be very intentional to support not only our English learners, but also students that have additional needs, our special education students. So all of our staff, is working through the distance learning modality, and they're supporting the classroom teacher. So our ESL, English language learning support staff, also has a Google Classroom, for example. They're also calling home and making sure that they're supporting students virtually and or by the phone. And every day, Tim, it's an area of learning and opportunity, not just for students, not just for staff, but certainly for our families.
Yes, I hate to keep repeating myself for people who watch a lot, but the metaphor that I love is it sounds like you're all trying to fix a car while it's still running. You can't just stop and evaluate and take a breath. So how does that work? How can you lead? Do you just have to deputize different teachers, different schools to try to figure out how to optimize this process on their own, considering everybody has a different wrinkle to their challenges?
I will tell you that initially we developed a structure, Tim, in which we have a task force that is not only comprised of several of us at central office, but also represents school building leaders and teachers themselves. And so they became, we collectively became the task force that designed our distance learning continuation plan. And every school has two teachers that have been designated as the lead coaches, if you will. These are teachers that were already familiar with and comfortable with the implementation of distance learning. And so we use that model because we know that, as you said, everyone is in a different place in terms of their comfort and the need for additional support.
Yeah. Wonderful. Dr. Leslie Torres-Rodriguez, thank you so much for giving us some insight on how it's working in Hartford. And we will check in with you again sometime soon. So thank you again. And let's